What's going on, my fellow boils and ghouls? I got myself another special cigar brand. I got myself the Russian Cream Backwoods cigar, or otherwise known as the White Russian. The very front and the very back. Nothing too special, very straightforward. Let's open this. That has a good smell. You can definitely smell like a sweetness to it, like coffee cream or sweet. Looks like any other normal cigar, nothing too special. What I like to do is, most of the time this part of the cigar burns unevenly. So what I do is I pull some of the tobacco leaves out. I don't need that, that's pretty useless. And I add a special ingredient, some whole cloves, to the very end. I call it a clove cigar, literally and figuratively. What you want to do is add a couple cloves at the very end. Add as many as you desire, and then light that bitch up. And what cloves do is they make this tobacco smoke much more pleasant to the nose and to your fellow audience. And cloves have a similar effect to menthol in the sense that it numbs the throat, but it's a lot more spicier and flavorful than menthol, which is why I prefer cloves over menthol any day during the week. Now, it kind of reminds me of a vanilla bean cigar. Imagine smoking a cigar version of the Haagen-Dazs vanilla bean ice cream. Very spicy, has a very vanilla-like flavor to it, and with the cloves, it makes it more spicier, it intensifies it. And in addition, it also has a numbing effect to the mouth and your throat. Now, since the cloves are already burnt off, now it's just straight up tobacco. And I wonder if it's going to taste any different. Let's see. Really, there's not much difference with or without cloves, other than the cloves give a numbing effect when you smoke it. But I highly recommend smoking any of the Backwoods cigars with cloves. It really intensifies the flavor and makes it a lot more pleasurable as a smoker. I'm going to add a couple more cloves, because that's how I prefer to smoke my cigars. Try to make sure I'm putting out the tobacco, because unfortunately the only way you can smoke it with cloves is to insert a clove in the part that you're burning and smoking, and that's the only way you can smoke it, because if you do it like in between the cigars, like putting a clove, it ruins the cigar. I learned that the hard way with one of my Swisher Sweet cigars, and like it couldn't burn because the pathway to ignite the cigarette was blocked. Well, I want to say blocked. It was more like severed. That is what just happened right there. That's the iconic clove popping sound. Sometimes cloves pop when you burn them. A little too violently like that time and made me flinch. But in Indonesia, that's called kretek. the characteristic popping sound of a clove. And in addition, it has a very distinct crackling sound when you burn it. And I think the other clove just fell down. Shit. That's one of the downsides of cloves. You better have a good surplus of them when you smoke it with a cigar. Because once the tobacco smoke exceeds where the clove was, you don't taste the clove. And that's the only downside of cloves. But cloves are pretty affordable. You can get like a whole box of cloves at like the supermarket for like $3. Adding a couple more. Voila. See? That's how you smoke a good cigar. That's how the Indonesians would do it, and that's how I would do it. If I was to rate this out of 5 stars, I'd give it 5 stars easy. And with the addition of cloves, I'd give it a 6 out of 5. It's one of the more superior smokes that I've had. Very creamy kind of taste. Tastes like a vanilla bean style cigar. Has that very I take that back. Heavy vanilla taste. It's really good. And with the addition of cloves, it gives a good numbing effect. Similar to menthol. And I don't think you can get menthol cigars. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I don't think you can get menthol cigars. Maybe in a different country, but at least in American markets, I have never seen a menthol style cigar. Not yet, anyway. I've still yet to look for them. But one of these days, if I find a menthol cigar, I'm definitely doing a review on those guys. But so far, I haven't found any menthol cigars. As much as I'd like to try one. And if you smoke enough of these, it's going to overwhelm you. The flavor. I'm already feeling the potency of both the tobacco and the cloves. That's another thing about cloves. Cloves intensify the absorption rate of the tobacco, which is why in most countries that do sell clove cigarettes, they sell less than 20 per pack. At least for most brands that I've seen, like the black clove cigarettes that I like. In most places, it's 16 clove cigarettes per pack. However, in some other countries, I think in England, they sell the 20 per pack version, which is really cool. But I have never seen the 20 pack version in my lifetime. But one of these days, if I get the chance, I'll definitely get some. Because I'm a hardcore smoker. And I love cloves. I love the way they taste, the way they smell, and the fact that they intensify the flavor rate, absorption rate, along with numbing the throat, like menthol. But I don't care for menthol. I mean, I'll smoke a menthol cigarette every now and again, but I'm more of a full flavor smoker. And this is a really flavorful cigar. I would second this particular brand of cigar, the Russian Cream, right below the Black Russian. I kind of like the Black Russian a little more. It also has a vanilla flavor, but it's more, kind of has a more chocolate kind of cream flavor. It's really good, especially with cloves. Ooh, good stuff. And so far, the Backwoods have really impressed me in terms of the flavor intensity and the actual flavor that you get from the smoking drag. And so far, for a cheap cigar, Backwoods have really shined. But one of these days when I'm older, I will do actual legit cigar reviews when I get the chance, when I'm out of state. Because in Illinois, cigars are like over $10 per cigar. I don't know about you, but I find that to be unfair and ridiculous. And while I was in Missouri, cigars, like, I've seen boxes of cigars go for like a quarter of $100, or in lay terms, $25 for a box of cigars. And in that box, it would have like 30 to 20 cigars. And some of them came from like Europe and shit. I was like, damn. And I kept that store in mind too. And don't get me wrong, I'm definitely going to patronize with those guys in the far future. Because I like a good quality smoke, especially when I'm stressed or just bored out of my mind. The cigar is pretty much done for. Good smoke. Anyway, you just watched my review of the Russian Cream, otherwise known as the White Russian Backwoods cigar. It has a very vanilla-like flavor, like a vanilla bean kind of consistency when you smoke it. And with cloves, it really intensifies the flavor, along with numbing your throat like menthol. And without the cloves, it's 5 stars. 5 stars easy. With the cloves, I'd give it another star simply because it intensifies the flavors and just makes it a lot better. Anyway, stay tuned for more videos. And I'm Chain Smoking Mike, wishing all of y'all a great and awesome day. And rock and roll as always.